mentioned this on a video going back because that's what it will be turning into. This is Stanley's Parable. Now, okay, confirm. No. I mean, sure. Oh, that's quite cool. So, are you joking me? Wouldn't it be easy to go, can I not just do that and then, yeah. Oh, it's now 9 o'clock, just turned. Bollocks. Bollocks. Wait. Over 9 a.m. Okay, right now we're here. Let me just quickly start some settings. I will explain if you haven't seen this before, but my best assumption is you probably have, so don't know what any of that is, so we're just going to leave that. Wait, reduce motion? Yes.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay. How can you get more simplified than that? What the fuck? Simplified controls. So it goes from X to use on all of them. That's simplified on. Maybe I don't know because I haven't played. Let's not judge it just now. Okay, so Stanley's Parable. A quick chat GPT explains Stanley Parable as well. It talks about the Ultra Deluxe, which is this one, but that's just it's just an expanded version of this game. But Stanley's Parable is players can control a character named Stanley, an office worker whose job it is to monitor data on a computer screen and press buttons according to instructions. One day, something happens, blah blah blah. So new content, add a wealth of new content expands upon the original games. This one does. Updated graphics, but the actual game itself it's under a couple of subheadings. So it's exploration, narrative focus, choice and consequences, meta commentary, no traditional gameplay goals. In summary, Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe is a unique game that blurs the lines between gameplay and storytelling, focus on exploration, narrative choices, and meta commentary rather than traditional game mechanics. So it's just one of those. My cousin said this phrase yesterday. Catchphrase, but anyway,
this is
it looks
the
good.
story of a man named Stanley.
I'll shut up now.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one, single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
That shit
No one
time.
had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation.
Time to go for a shit, mate, on company time.
Wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
So, as far as I've seen, also that's pretty cool. Wait. Why would it ask me for the time if it's not going to put the correct time in? Also, this game actually feels really smooth. I can't lie. So you hear the narrator then say he goes out of his office. If I continue to be, if you haven't seen this before, sorry, if you have seen this before, then I'm sorry, but from my understanding, if you've, what's that? If you just stay in here, the narrator go. You'll just say, watch. If I just do some stuff. Also, the chair's invisible. Okay, maybe I have to go out and back in again. Hi, that's such a typical mug. I hate Mondays. Monday is today, guys. Oh, by the way, before I get into the gameplay, well, I hopefully wait for this narrator to say something. I'm going to be doing, hopefully, if I get up, a stream every day at 9 o'clock, and it'll be a different single player game if we don't complete this one. I think the playtime is around 2 hours, something along those lines. So we could possibly finish this one today. That's the plan anyway, and then from there I can start another game tomorrow. But yeah, I got like about 5 or 6 days of like doing this. Anyway, the narrator's not thinking, so
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley went around touching every little thing
there we
in the
go.
office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
I see that. He's like a... Also, don't ask me. I don't know why he asked me for the time if he's not going to put it into real time into the game. Do you know what I mean? Boop. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Now, do I go in the left? I only go in the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
It is,
Stanley
yes.
simply stood here, drinking it all in. Yes, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
We ain't gonna do that.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Cheeky bastard. Also, right, this is so sad, right? But it's just a game. But that racking wouldn't happen. You wouldn't be able to have it like that. You'd have to have some sort of like metal netting or metal thing going across this way, because if those fell, anyone like down that area. But anyway, we'll get on with that. Oh, we're going out. Okay, I've actually never. The walkthrough I seen or remember was at XQC play this, and do you reckon I can just?
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Wait, is that? Oh shit. Okay. Oh, okay.
All
So
his co-workers were gone.
wait. You could realistically explore every narrative option in the game.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, was it this way? Yeah.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't.
Okay, I think this is literally just a plummet to your death.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. I'm not asking for me. I'm asking, this is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
What the fuck?
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this.
Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right.
Well, I just it's gonna be a horror.
Okay, there we go.
I can't move,
Right,
by the
now,
way.
I want you to come in and tell me all about
Your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife? Who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Wait, I'm gonna see if I can press a different button.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown. Fantastic.
I've got a hunch. The game's gonna keep me here and just get me pressing a bunch of shit for a long time, just to penalise me.
Discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Prepared dinner.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
What'd you do here then? Do you listen to him?
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
What the fuck? Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Oh my days, it's actually such a corporate thing. But I think that's a stupid idea. More water coolers, more water cooler heaters. Charts to be more hip to appeal to teenage demographic. Find teenagers to put in teenage demographic. Big net. Some sort of child trap. Question mark. Monetize free to play. I'm locked in here, aren't I?
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I've actually seen what happens down there. It's pointless.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Oh, my camera's a bit...
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Whoops, nope, never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
Is that as cool as it's going to be? It's going to be the same room. Yep. No, don't say I'm stuck here.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Narrator hates us.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this? Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he? Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place.
What were we?
427,
417 or something? Which one were we? think with that one, 4727. Yeah, I think it was.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all. And when at last he found the source, blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
It's gonna be a screen, isn't it?
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
That's it. I mean, this can't be it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong
Got an idea.
foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the
No.
story... But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley.
Damn it.
Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
I want to see. I think when it goes over, we can get to that balcony there. That might be the game. That might actually be the full game, but with all the, bits in between. When you go off topic, I think that makes the game longer.
Perhaps he had simply...
Which makes me believe the game's designed to make you not go ahead with what it's asking you to do.
Missed a memo.
That's too quick otherwise.
When
We will go
came
through
to a
that door
set
in a
of
minute.
two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first... But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Right, so instead of it jumping off when it goes this way, I'm gonna wait till it goes like over that one in front of me.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off
And then
on
we'll
the
see
wrong
what's down
foot
there.
here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration
Nice.
for others?
Yeah.
Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Right. We're gonna go with it, and then we'll go against next time.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Wait, I think it literally is. Wait, that means there's two options then.
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
That's kind of nice, actually. Feels like a brain. It's kind of a brain. Not anymore. It's like a pineapple slice. Is the animation going to change again? Doesn't matter else. Is that going to go up or can I jump off the side? Nope. Okay. I think we've seen enough of that.
No, wait. Where are you going? Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Wait, it literally is. So, I mean, this is death then, is it? Because look at the stairs. This is just like another input to the game. So that's like a walkway off there. There's no other... So, can I go back? Oh, it's still doing its thing.
Good, good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there, hmm? Just stay here.
Okay, looks like...
No! What do we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here. You heard me before, didn't you? You will die! What about this isn't getting through to you? Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
I wonder if... I think it literally is just death.
Are you... You are going to stay here, aren't you?
Ugh.
No! Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room?
Wait, what? I'm walking slower for some reason.
There. See? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy. We really can. If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving.
So, how the fuck do I...
Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this.
Do I have to restart the game?
No. No, no, what are you doing? Do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you? Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't... Do you actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing me? I wanted us to be happy here, Stanley. I really did. I wish I still thought that was possible.
Alright, so what do I do here then? I'm only walking ever so slow each time. So does it get to the point where it will just take me like half an hour just to keep going up the stairs? I think I don't want to restart. I want to find another ending. But surely this is not going to be an ending. This is either going to be death or just a complete troll until I restart the game.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, I think that's all the options explored to the right.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. "I'm dreaming!" he yelled. "This is all a dream." Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley.
No, I almost caught it all last time.
It's strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control.
Fuck's sake.
This was a dream.
I had it before.
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back. the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided
I really
go
want to
the
glitch one of
meeting
these
room.
doors.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to make it, am I? It's too far away. Because it activates.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office,
Oh my word,
hoping he
could have done
might
it.
find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Damn it. Let me out.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stuck.
Okay. You guys won't be able to see this, but I'm just going to have a look on the trophies for this game. Oh, sorry. Bear with me. There's only 12 trophies. Get your first trophy. That one I've done, that one I've done. Test trophy, please ignore. Okay, it says here. Test trophy description. Replace this. Don't know what it is. Quit the game and then start it again. Okay, we'll do that one.
To discover not
This one. Or do I actually have to quit out? Quit to main menu. We'll start again.
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Well, he said something about clicking... Oh, damn it, I keep getting the trophies. Quit the game and start it again. I've done that one, I don't know why. You can't jump. No, seriously, we disabled it. Play Stanley Parable for the entire duration of Tuesday. What? Click on door 430 5 times.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy? Click the door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such a little effort.
That's so funny.
5 clicks? Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
Wait, really? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks. No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this trophy to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way no matter the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
You're joking me. Wait, what?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Wait, I was already at the start.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Wait, oh, no. No, oh, I messed up. I thought we had to go back.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for a trophy? Click a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks? Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks. No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this trophy to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way no matter the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Okay, so it goes down this time.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
This game's a troll, isn't it?
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
415. You've got it, narrator.
Now, back to door number 437.
This game can go fuck off, actually. 437.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine? All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Wait, what? What if this isn't the trophy? It's just named that.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk. Yes!
Wait.
This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416. We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
Give me the trophy. Wait, where's it gone? Wait. Wait, was that it? No, that's the filing cabinet. Where is it? Have they removed it?
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I got it!
We did it!
I don't know if you can see that.
That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could have...
Right, we'll go back to that. Wait there. Let me... That's actually quite funny. Okay, we got that one. Test trophy, please ignore or replace this. It makes me feel like we can just get that one by clicking it, but it's not the case. Test trophy, I don't understand. Quit the game and start again, doesn't work. No, seriously disabled that you can't jump. 77% of players earned. I'm going to have to search that one because it seems... Hey, play Stanley Parable for the entire duration of Tuesday. 888, we don't know what that one is. Done the 431. Speedrun complete the Stanley Parable in 4 minutes 22 seconds, not including load times. I think we'll do that one next actually. Set all setting sliders in the menu to all the available numbers. That is crazy. Don't play Stanley Parable for 10 years. Don't know, maybe I have to delete it once I'm done.
Are you back? Yes.
So it means I have to...
I'm very proud of how far we've come to...
So I'd have to... It's actually a joke if I'm doing this wrong. Oh my days. Wait, fuck that one off. I'm not doing that one. Fuck that. Okay, okay, that's probably all the ones we can do right now. Anyway, that was Stanley's Parable. Oh, wait, no. Settings. Is there no reset controls? Field of view max, camera sensitivity, yeah. Let's do the speedrun one, and then we will finish there. Okay? Quit the main menu.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Okay, this is the
What could it
speedrun
mean?
trophy.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, what was the
moment
code?
he entered his manager's office, Stanley
8245.
froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all
No.
alone? This was too much for Stanley to
no,
take.
I have to
Too
restart
much
it.
for any man to take. He fell to his knees, bursting into half moans, half sobs.
No, it
the
was
guttural
8245.
retching
For
of
sure, yeah?
life from a man denied any hope, any reason to keep going. Here on the floor, he lay prone, paralyzed by fear for nearly a full hour. But when at last he began to move about and survey the situation, he found a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could it mean? Was it a sign of hope for Stanley's future? Alas, it was not. For although this keypad guarded the terrible secret of Stanley's past, it had been assigned a 4-digit code so devious and so random that no man could ever hope to guess.
Oh, I got a trophy. 8888.
2845.
Nice.
Statistically, nearly impossible to guess blindly, ever.
But was I doing 2845 before?
Incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
No, I was doing 824. Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna restart it. 2845. Two 845.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just
No,
let
fuck
the
off, man.
narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age music.
No. Okay, it's gonna be a lot harder than I thought it would be to speedrun. Just because the narrator is an absolute knob.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Did somebody say speedrun? Come on, motherfuckers.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control
Oh,
Facility.
I didn't see that before.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this... blackness, and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How
I got the
had
you
they
can't
been
jump bit.
freed from the
I got that
machine's
trophy too.
grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold?
45% of trophies went through, and then I got this
As
one.
sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will
Hopefully this
be
counts as a
his. And that was all
cutscene
he
because
needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Let me vote.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility.
This turned into a thingy walkthrough to a trophy hunt.
A new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Please tell me that's a speedrun done, trophy-wise. Bro, how can I do it any quicker than that? Really? Okay, I don't know. Okay, that's gonna be Stanley's Parable anyway. Very weird and wonderful game. And how long I'm gonna stream for? Only over an hour. So, yeah, I don't fancy trying to speedrun again because it just doesn't happen. Let me just double check some trophies whilst I'm here. Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's another one we can do here. Easy enough anyway. Quit the game and start it again. I don't know why that's not worked. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be it. But yeah, thanks for watching. It's a weird one, and there's been a lot of cutting in and out. So obviously on the stream, with being the PlayStation off the game, oh excuse me, it cuts out sensitive screens. So anyway, that's not the game. You won't be able to see that. So I do apologise, but I was just looking at trophies, that sort of thing. Yeah, I think I might move on to. I'm not too sure. Maybe The Last of Us or something tomorrow. But that didn't take too long. And I'm gonna stream some either Overwatch or the Black Ops 6 beta now. So stay tuned for that. And if you're watching this on a replay, if you got to this far, leave a comment. Actually, leave a comment saying narrator, and I'll know. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and peace.